Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jack. I'm the founder here at Scenarios. We're a marketing agency based in London that helps e-commerce brands set up effective campaigns on Facebook and Instagram. And in this week's video, we're going to cover a recent case study of how we took an ad account for one of our clients from 0 to 30K in sales in just over 2 months. So for some context on this case study, this is a luxury fragrance brand that we've been working with that's pretty well established before they started working with us, but they've never been able to make Facebook ads work for them on a consistent basis at a high spend. They were averaging around a few $100s a month in ad spend, mainly targeted at events like Black Friday or different offers that they would have running. And they were getting pretty good ROAS on those campaigns, but they didn't know how to scale effectively and make Facebook ads something that generated a consistent revenue. So obviously, due to the confidentiality agreement with the client, we can't break down the exact numbers, but I'll show you a quick overview of the ad account before they started working with us, what the numbers looked like, and now that they've started working with us, it's been just over 2 months, what sort of numbers we've been able to achieve with them. Okay, so now that we're in the ad account, we started working with this client on January 19th, or more accurately, we actually started running ads on January 19th. And as you can see here from the numbers, in total over the last 2 months and a few days, we spent close to 50,000 euros right here and generated 34,000 euros back in sales at around 2.3 ROAS. We've generated 394 purchases as a direct result of what's been attributed to the ads. Obviously, a lot of those people that we've acquired are also going to come back and buy more, so there's a compounding effect to this sort of advertising on how it actually grows the business. Just to show you what the ad account looked like previous to when we worked together. So if you look at the month of January before we started running ads, you can see here the totals are not adding up just because of the change of attribution window which occurred as a result of iOS 14, as some of you might be aware. So if we just change the attribution window right here, you can see, let me see if I can do this here. Okay, perfect. So now we can get the totals right here by changing the attribution setting. As you can see here, for example, for the month of January, they were running a few campaigns. They spent 267 euros. Again, the ad account here is in euros because this is a global brand and we were running advertising globally. So in the US, pretty much the majority of Europe, and as well as the UK. You can see here that they ran 267 euros, generated 187 euros back, 0.7 ROAS. Not the best. They had definitely better months previous to this. So if you look at what they did in December, for example, December is arguably going to be a very, very good month for them because they're going to spend a little bit higher because there's a lot of offers and people want to buy a lot of products. So you can see here that they spent 900 euros, so this is a lot higher than what they would usually spend, and generated 1,600 euros back in sales. So if we compare that to the first month of them working with us, we go January 19th to February 19th, let's say, and we update that. You can see here, if we change the attribution setting again, you can see here quite a stark difference. You can see that in just the first month we've spent 6,480 euros right here and generated 17,669 euros back in sales at an average of 2.73 ROAS. So very, very dramatic results. And what I'm going to do next is break down kind of on a high level what we did to achieve those sort of numbers and what contributed to this success, so that you can kind of start to understand where you need to be aiming at as a brand if you're looking to take your Facebook ads to that next level. So now that you've seen the results, what are the main takeaways from this, and why was it that, what really made the difference between what the sort of campaigns that they were running in the past, which generated okay results, I would say. In some instances, they've generated pretty good results, but at a very low spend, and what we've done and what we've implemented to, again, in the first month, spend around £6,000 and generate more than 14,000 in sales. Right there. So the first takeaway for this brand in particular was that you must make use of your retargeting audiences, especially if you are a somewhat established brand. For example, this last year, as a result of the pandemic, a lot of brands who are very established in retailers, in physical stores and retail, moved to online. And what they fail to realize is they can actually use the customer assets that they've collected from their customers in retail and upload those assets to Facebook in the form of email lists, customer lists, and allow Facebook to match those people on the platforms, and then you're able to retarget those people. And we had very, very great success by doing that with the brand that I just showed you, by using some of their customer lists that they haven't leveraged in the past, and we ran a pretty solid campaign initially. Granted, there was also an offer, quite a strong offer involved with that, called one of their January offers, which also helped boost the sales as well. The next takeaway from this case study is testing. So before working with us, this client would always create ads and launch them and hope that it gets good results. And what I mean by that is they would come up with an offer that they want to create, let's say for Christmas, Black Friday, whatever the case may be, and they would come up with ads that they think look good and would work well, and they would just launch those in hope to see what sort of results they would see. Instead, the approach that we took was a testing approach, and I highly recommend every brand that's running Facebook ads to do this. And the difference between those two approaches is, with a testing approach, you're not necessarily confident in what's going to work. Instead, you create many different variations of the ads, obviously also keeping the marketing principles in mind, and then you launch them simultaneously at a low budget, and you let the data inform you on what sort of campaigns are actually generating more sales. In this particular case with this client, we were actually surprised to learn that very simple image ads with long form copy were doing a lot better to videos, which is kind of the opposite of other brands where usually video performs a lot better. This could be because of the fact that this was more of a luxury brand, and so it's more about the aesthetic, and it just could be that the audience that we're going after also responds a lot better to images and long form copy. The third and final takeaway from this case study is, don't be afraid of increasing budget. As long as you're generating a good ROAS, you should not be scared of increasing, doubling the budget even. In some instances, we were tripling or even more the budget on a given ad set if we're confident in the numbers it's generating within those first 48 hours. And the way you gain that confidence is by starting to essentially run very simple correlation studies on the data that you're getting to understand what metrics are actually correlating with the ads that are generating the most sales. So for some people are looking at the cost per click and the click-through rates to see if their ads are doing well or not. When in this case, for example, we realized that the cost per click or the click-through rate doesn't have a strong correlation with the number of sales or the overall ROAS that we're getting. Instead, it was more so to do with the cost per add to cart and cost per checkout initiated. And so those were the metrics that we were focusing on. And as long as those metrics were below what we were looking for, our target metrics, we were able to increase the budget and scale, as you saw with the case study. We went from, again, they were spending a few $100s a day. In that first month, we managed to spend 6,000 euros. Again, that was capitalizing on the retargeting audience as well. Now we're sitting at around 5,000 euros per month in spend at around 2 to 3 times ROAS. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this case study, kind of unraveling what it really takes to generate substantial results in a short period of time. Again, one thing to mention was this brand was already well established, so they had a lot of customer assets to work with. And if you're a brand that you've just started out, perhaps that initial strategy of trying to work with the retargeting audience might not apply to you, but you still want to apply the remaining two that we talked about, which is testing quite aggressively. Kind of let go of the assumptions of what you think will work and try to test as much as possible and let the data inform you on what ads you should be running. And then don't be afraid of increasing the budget. Again, you want to increase it slowly in the beginning and see what sort of ROAS you're getting, but every once in a while don't be afraid of doubling your budget to see if the ad continues to perform well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you find it valuable. If you did, please give a like and comment and tell us what you thought of the video, the case study, what sort of results you're seeing from your Facebook ads. Also give us any feedback that you have on the content, what would you like to see more from the channel. And if you happen to be an e-commerce brand owner that's generating at least 5 figures in monthly recurring revenue organically and want to learn a little bit more about how you can use Facebook ads as a consistent revenue driver in the same way that we've shown you this case study today to really take things to the next level, what I can do is leave a link down in the description where you can apply to work with us, and if you qualify, you'll be able to book a call directly with me and we can see if we can help. So again, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.